Hey guys, it's Sharon of Little Britain Company. Welcome to my channel. Okay, I am really excited about showing you what I had today. You might have seen, you might have noticed in the description or in the title that I have made a traveler's journal without having to laminate, without having to iron anything on. So let me walk you through it. I'm super excited. I didn't have this is fine. This is like a skinnier, it's like an elastic cord that I would like to use, but it was the only one I could find at the moment. So, okay, so we open it up and we have I did all of these in like a summer theme. This was last summer's from Joanne Fabric. So I love this one. So we have 1, 2, 3 of the little mini composition notebooks, and then this cute little folder, and I actually included a little tag in the folder, and fold it all up, and it goes together. Now, cannot tell you how excited about this. I made this using a Dollar Tree. This is one of the, like a flimsy poly, plasticky, 3-ring binder. So I have lots of this material left. Let me show you what I have left from it at the moment. So I have all of this left. Certainly enough to make another journal. So you can use, the nice thing about this, what's important about this is that even though you can't, even though I'm not using a laminator, and I do have a laminator, but I really have been looking for a couple of years to figure out a way to do it without using the laminator. And I had this concept 2 years ago, but never brought it to fruition. Anyway, so you can absolutely make, I think you can make 4. Yes. So this is the same size. So I can already do one of these. So from one of these Dollar Tree binders, I can make 4 covers for my traveler's notebooks. I am going to show you how to do it. And I'm going to show you some different options. I want to do a Christmas one today. So I'm going to pull out some of the Christmas paper that I've been working with because I'm still trying to smash my stash. Not that that's helping because I keep going and buying more, but I love this. And I still put something on, I still put a cover piece on it. So I purchased these different poly, you can use the folders or the binders, whatever you can find. I've got a couple of, I think I have one more binder. But I'm going to use some of the folders. Now, I got these at Walmart. These 1, 2, I want to show you these 4 to start with because I really want to do a Halloween themed one with those, or a couple of Halloween themed ones. Really excited about doing Halloween ones. Because they don't have to be travel. They can be just, thematic. So I bought 2 in Christmassy colors and these 2 in the Halloween. Right now at Walmart, these are 54 cents a piece. That is an incredible price. So I also wanted to show you that you can absolutely do these adorable ones. They're so cute. This is these are also from, my golly, my brain isn't working. Walmart. Look at how pretty these are. I don't know if I would use this one. I think that top one's going to be a problem, or at least this one will be a problem, but I think this side will be fine. But I love this one. And then this one has an all over design. So the only thing with these, so the other one was $1.25. These are 54 cents. These were like I want to say like $2.57 each. That does dramatically change the price of these, but if you get 4 of them out of it, then you're looking at about 60, let's say 63, 64 cents per traveler's notebook if you get 4 traveler's notebooks out of this. So that's not so bad. This is like 10, 12 cents. I'm averaging up. Okay, let me get started. I will tell you, I have been greatly influenced by Carolina Crafts, and I use some of her numbers that she shared in one of her other videos just to get my dimensions instead of reinventing the wheel, and because she's a wonderful teacher. So definitely check hers out. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is pull off any stickers. I have looked for some other options. They're not necessarily easy to find. I'm going to do my first one with this top piece without this pocket, but I am going to do a future one where I show you how to include the pocket. It's not hard. Okay, so the first thing I need is it has to be 8 inches across. I'm just going to go ahead and set this to 8 inches. And yeah. And since I know that I'm going to want to probably make multiples out of this, I'm just going to go ahead. Oh, I haven't done it like that before. Okay, sorry about that switch there. Just so my mistake there was I had not realized I had to cut through, or I wasn't thinking. Cutting through the 2 layers is fine, but because it has a pocket, that gave me 4 layers of plastic. 4 layers is not okay for this one. It can't handle it. So I just should have, and this is fine. It did not cause a problem for me as far as my design. There we go. Nice and smooth. Perfect. But in this part, I am just honestly just going to throw this away. I don't see a need for it at the moment, and I don't want to hold on to stuff. Okay, so now I have these 2 pieces. These are both 8 inches across. So they need to be 8 inches by 5 inches down. So let me switch this to my 5, and I'm absolutely going to do these individually just to make sure. Like I said, never try to do something different when you're doing something as a tutorial. That's just never a good idea. All right, so that is 1, and then I'm going to turn that around, and that one's going to be my second one. Now I am holding that super tight. I do not want this to shift. This piece is so nice. I don't know that I will have a use for it, but I'm going to hold on to it just for the moment. And I'm just going to go ahead and do these. Be right back. Okay, sorry about that little. So I have 4 of these cut. I'm only going to work with 1 for right now. But these, I have to say, I mean, these are super cool. That we have these with this piece already pocketed, if that makes sense. So that's actually going to make a really nice change to some of these. But I'm not going to do that one on camera right now. I'm going to do this one. Okay, and I will tell you right away, I'm trying to finish up my Santa Claus Lane paper before I break into the baking one. I don't have a huge amount left, and that one's too small to be the cover for this. You can see it's just a little bit too small. But I'm going to use what I have from here. I have enough big sheets to do what I need to do, I think. Okay, and I just real quick, I'm going to be using these little composition notebooks. I got these from probably Dollar General. This is the normal size that you see. This is 4.5 by 3 1/4. This one is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. This is the Dollar Tree set. It is smaller. This is how they're saving money. This is why they're still doing things for $1.25. So you can kind of see it is definitely smaller, and that is cut funky. So I bought these to take a look at them and just to see what the difference is, and you know, there's a difference. And put this one aside. By the way, you can buy these, the set of 3, you can still buy these at Dollar General for $1. And then if you go on a Saturday, you get an even better deal because you can buy $25 worth of items for and get $5 off. Okay, so I am going to start real quick by just sorry, every once in a while I've got to do that, or things don't seat properly. I don't know why. Okay, so I've got my wonderful little corners, and I need also I made sure that with this you do not have to have any big time specialized tools to make this. I'm going to show you because I'm super excited that everything worked. Everything worked. Okay, so I am going to score this at 3.5. Now, some of them are thicker than others, so I'm just going to go back and forth a few times. So 3.5, 4, and 4.5. I just definitely want to make sure that one just went off the rocker there. Okay. Careful not to do that. Let's see if I can get that to smooth back out again. Okay. I chose the red because of the Christmassy colors. Put my scoreboard away for the moment. And let me go ahead and get these to, oh my goodness. I'm going to score that again. I really need it to be ready to bend. And I think I'm going to use my other score tool because it might or not. Where's my metal one? Okay, so I grabbed this one because it's got a metal tip. And I really, really want to make an impression. I'm just gonna, because that impression is what's gonna help me fold this properly. Let's see if I got it. I think so. It's actually really hard to see. All right, let's try this. There. That's the first one. Okay. Check this side. So it's interesting. I had not, this is why you always do things in different ways. I did not have this problem when I did the Dollar Tree one, but it wasn't quite as thick. And so this one, which is thicker and I am assuming a slightly better quality, I am having a slightly harder time with it. So just keep that in mind. So this next one basically is being folded directly in half. Make sure I got that where it needs to be. There we go. Make sure. All right. And then my last one. I'm going to double check it real quick. Yep, it's fine. Perfect. There. Now we have our wonderful little folder. How cute is that? So, so cute. So I'm going to go ahead and get my folder completely ready, and then I am going to, my little folder done. So then when I do everything else, I'll be good to go. But I'm going to zoom in a little bit so y'all can see what we do. Okay, so I am measuring in, I measured it down 1/4 of an inch. And then from there, and I made my dot way, way too big. So, so big. And then from there, I'm going to do kind of an in-between. That's not in between. There we go. And I really just want to do a dot. Now, I will tell you, if you do this and you've got like that big blob of black that I have in there, I know how to get that off. Really, you just use regular isopropyl alcohol and it'll take it off. So, yeah. Okay, so I want to go down. I didn't go down that far. I want to make sure I don't go down too far. Somewhere in between there. Okay. You also don't want to be too far up. Oh my goodness, I made a mess of that one. But again, I can take it off. And the reason I know I can take it off is because of what I do for a living. I often have to take marks off of all sorts of stuff all the time. Okay, so those are my dots. Now, I will tell you, I'm not going to use the, it's not rivets, eyelets. I'm just not. You don't really have to. I'm gonna just drop something. I am going to use this thing. I've got to do the one in the middle too. Shooba dooba. Let me do the one in the middle. I forgot. I know. Okay, here we go. Using my... So this has to be, the one in the middle should be at 2.5 inches. And I am trying to make sure that I put my dot kind of in the middle of the bend. There you go. Because we're going to need those for that. So it's going to be really, I actually have one of these little, it's a tinier punch, but I'm going to show you how to do that one in the middle with something else. So you just have to be, I'm kind of looking in there to make sure that I'm getting it where I need it to be. I'm going to go ahead and punch the, well, trying to make sure I get it as even as possible. Gotta say, if they're not absolutely perfect, it is not the end of the world. They are fine. I'll put this one here. next. And then this one. And this one. What you do want to make sure, you want to make sure they're not too close to the bottom, because you don't want that to be kind of ripped. That one turned out better than the other one. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do with my next one. And I know this is going to be funky, but it actually works really well. Wait, where's my other ones? Oh no, I think I just missed recording. Oh shoot. Okay, I don't know where I am right now as far as the recording. I may have just accidentally not recorded how I got these holes in here. So I will tell you this, but all you really need is this. You're really just poking holes. So, okay, I'm just going to move forward. I'll go back and review later, and I'll make another one of these later, but you know, I can't believe I did that. Okay. So I'm going to start by, I'm just going to stick these in here, figuring out approximately, because this is not going to be as small as it's going to be. You can see that it kind of folds over. Once you put writing or things into the pockets or other items in here, you're going to end up, it's going to bulge out a little bit. So let me figure out. So I want it probably about there. I'll start with that and see where it goes. That should be pretty close. All right. Let me see if that's going to work. I have this very handy dandy plastic needle, and I got this from some things that I did with Temu. Just some stuff I bought from Temu. But it really does work well. There we go. Yeah, that'll hold. Let me put these in here. Again, this is kind of thin, but the thicker elastic that I wanted to get, they for some reason no longer sell it. So, or at least they didn't have it when I went into Hobby Lobby, which is where I've been getting it. And you can order it online. All right, that's kind of perfect. So that one's good to go. I think I'm gonna just trim those down just a touch. Now, I am going to get one. I'm going to wrap this a few times. Oh, my word. This one goes all knotted, guys. Such a mess. Oh, my goodness. I'm such a mess. Okay. I need this to go around 4 times. And I'll need a little bit of room to tie it. So that's 2. 3. 1, 2, 3. 4. All right. That should be about right. I mean, it's a longer piece, but we'll see. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, I've just got to do it. I have to remember how to do this. Okay, so I'm up through here, and then I go here. Honestly, I don't think there's a wrong way to do this, guys. Okay, so then I want to leave it, there we go. Here, and down, And see, I'm going across here. Let me make sure that I don't make it too loose or too tight. Oh, I had way more than I needed. And there. And then I go back here. And down here. And then, yeah, that works. It's not what okay, that works fine. And then up through here, let me make sure I've still got all this correct and that I'm not crossing anything. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut that there, just get that piece out of the way. And I'm sorry, I know the red on red is harder to see. So I do just want to make sure it's all not super tight, but not loose, because it's got to hold stuff in. And let's see which one does that. There we go. So then I'm going to take these and about where that one is. What I wanted to do was land in the middle, but I didn't. So, but this is going to be sitting in the middle of a notebook. It should not make any difference. So I'm just going to tie it off. And I'm going to do one more knot here. So I'm going to go backwards. This is the part where, you know how it just feels natural when you do a knot? Do it in the other direction where it doesn't feel natural. And that's going to give you a very, if I can make that go, that will give you a very strong knot. There. Okie dokie. Wow, that was tons more than I needed. I'll put that aside. Okay, this is practically ready. The only thing I need left to do, or I have left to do on this part, is to decorate the front. How easy was that? I mean, and that's the big part, guys. That was the one where, you know, you've just got to be... that's the outside, so you want it to work out well and all those good things. All right, let me put these guys aside. Again, that's also key so you don't hurt the surface of what you're doing. So now I have these three. Oh, actually, I think... So I know that I want to use this side and this side, and I'm going to do this one... I think, let's see if I have enough to do. Oh yeah, one sheet of this will cover that. So I think I'll do that on the outside, and then I'll make that into my envelope. And that'll be on the inside. Okay. So, no, that's not going to make my envelope. My envelope needs to be bigger. Let's go ahead and do these, and then I'll do the envelope last. That'll work. Okay, so each of these needs to cover that outside. I will say these composition notebooks are, I mean, they're funky, man. It is hard to get them to be exact. So I think we figured, I mean, This should be 4.5 by 4. That can't be right. It should be right about there. Now it should be 4.5. I'm gonna just double check numbers and make sure. Again, yeah, they're usually just slightly off. It can drive you crazy. I'm gonna cut this one at 4.5. Whichever side you think. Since this is not completely straight, I am going to have to overlap it ever so slightly. So you can see I am going to figure out where this needs to be. Because I'm going to want this kind of as close to that edge as I can without going over. That's impossible to do with these. I'll do it this way. There is more than one way to skin this cat. Part of that is just attaching it. I mean, I could take the time to measure it out, but you know, it's time consuming. So I know, see, right away, this thing does not, there we go. That's, okay. Where my glue's coming out the top. And I can just do this. Look how easy that is. I'm gonna go back just, I don't want to cut the cardboard. There you go. So easy. Now most of these, I'm gonna let that front one cure for just a minute. Let's see if I'll be able to get a second side out of this one. Ooh, good, I can do my back. Love it. Maybe with not so much glue. This one is straighter than the last one, so I am was about right until I moved it, until I shifted it just ever so slightly. There we go. And that one's a little bit long, but look at that. One down. So cute. And if some of these pages stick to the inside, I'm just not going to worry about it. That is just not something I'm going to worry about. Now, inevitably, with these composition notebooks, you've got to do some trimming. It just... It's the nature of what they are. They are just not straight. So if they were straight, wonderful. We could cut, we could measure and cut, and it would be perfect. But they're just not. They're just not. So generally, I just, you know, don't worry about it. I do my little bit of gluing. It's not a little bit of gluing. I do my gluing. And then my cutting. Okay, I'm going to do my other two and I'll be right back. So real quick, what I wanted to show you was with this next one, I actually cut this. So the length here, what I have been doing is 4.5 by 2 7/8, right through here. But I made these a little bit longer because I'm going to turn this into an inside pocket inside the my little gingerbread house here. So I gave it an extra inch and something. I made it by 4 inches, which gives me a nice little extra bit for a pocket on the inside. I'll show you what I mean on this one. I love this one. Okay, so now I have this extra bit going on here. I'm not going to worry about it for right now. I'm going to get there. What I'm going to do is just use that side to fold it over. Go ahead and make myself this cute little pocket. All right. Right here, I'm zooming in. I am going to go ahead. I put a little bit of glue around each of the corners because I know that I'm going to be cutting that part off. And I need those corners to stay glued. All right, so now I've got the pocket. I'm going to go in and I'm going to go ahead and do my trim. I know that I didn't get that right. Do the same thing on this side. This is harder. This is harder because I am right-handed. But there's not a whole lot here to trim, just this little tiny bit. Then I'm going to take my wonderful little corner guy here, make sure it goes in properly. And there. Isn't that cute? And now this one has a little inner pocket. Okay, let me go ahead and finish those and we'll take another look. Okay, so I finished up our cute little notebooks here and they've got some little pockets. That one does. This middle one does not. And then this one actually has a front and back pocket. I actually think I'm going to have this one. I think this would be so fun at Christmas time and you could do different, different notes and things to yourself to keep it straight. But this piece is not big enough, and that is the last piece that I have. So it's not big enough for my my last pocket or my folder. So I'm gonna have to pick something from here. I am leaning towards, I don't think that's wide enough. Oh, just, what do you think? All right, so it has to be 6.5 inches tall and 7.5 inches wide. This is exactly 7.5 inches. That might be, I kind of like this one. All right, these have been really nice to have these extras. Let me see if there's anything else that I might want to include. No. Nope, that's perfect. Okay, so this one is all ready, and I'm using I have this whole board as measurement. It's actually just a bit bigger than 7.5. So let me go ahead and do 6.5 inches tall. I want to do it for there. My wonderful thing here. Let me get those out of the way. Okay, so I've got 6.5 inches tall, and you really have to watch your orientation on this. Okay, so 6.5 inches tall, and 7.5 inches wide. And again, this particular part comes absolutely straight from Carolina Crafts. Again, she's got a wonderful video. I will try to remember to link it. But if I don't, it'll come up for you. Okay. So I am going to go ahead and do a little bit of scoring on here. Where's my scoring tool? I keep losing my scoring tool. It's kind of hilarious. Okay, so I'm going to score this at 1/2 inch. Just right there. I'm very gentle with this one. And 3.5 inches. No, 3 3/4 inches. Right there. And I like to turn it and do another 1/2 inch. Or I like to turn it to do my last 1/2 inch. And at the bottom, and this is actually quite helpful to have it like this. So at the bottom of my orientation, I need to do this at 4.5 inches. Seriously, 4.5 inches? That means this is the bottom. Yes. All right, so 4.5 inches. Just remember when you score it going in, your orientation, think about it. If you've actually got it in this landscape orientation, you need to score your 4.5 inches at the bottom. Super duper important. Otherwise, you're gonna score it in the wrong place, and that'll be terrible. And okay, I love my small board. And I'm going to go ahead and just do a little bit of, just do my folds. And cute. This is cute. Okay, I've got to remember how to do this. Okay, so yes. So, and there, by the way, there's a reason. There's a reason for everything that we do here. I am going to go ahead and fold this up, and I'm cutting it just to where it's been scored. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. If I can hold that properly. Okay. It is actually really important that you do that. And then on this side, I'm going to cut on the inside of that score line. And kind of on the inside of that one. I gave it just a tiny angle. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to do all my cuts, and then I'll show you how to glue it. And I will say, I followed Carolina. I did carefully, I thought. But I made a mistake the first time that I did my gluing. And I think it's because I didn't understand why. Because I was trying to go too fast. You got to pay attention in class. Okay, sorry. All right, so I'm not quite done. I like to, when I do something like this, and we do this with a lot of different folders, but when I do this, I need to make just a little slit here. Otherwise, when you do this, it'll push itself out. The paper itself is going to push out. I need to give it a little bit of relief, basically. So, to give it that little bit of relief, I am just going to do this ever so small slit right there, and I need to get right to, oh, so close. I need to get right to the, come back in. Come on. Just a tiny bit up. Need to get right to the score mark. Oh, I'm so close. All right, I'm close enough. I literally made it right to the score mark. I couldn't quite go over the edge there. All right. So you can see when I do it now, when I fold it, I don't, the paper's not pushing against each other. And that's really what you're looking at, because it just takes the bulk away. Okay, so my next thing is whatever, thinking whichever order you so choose, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to glue down, not like that, I'm not that glue. I'm going to glue down this part. And I'm going to glue down this little section. And just go ahead and burnish those because I want them to stay. Okay, I am not going to glue these to this. These flaps need to be glued to these flaps. Otherwise, if I glue that down and then I glue that down, my pocket is only this big. What can I show you with? My pocket is only, here we go, this big. See what I'm doing there? It'll only go that far. But if I glue that to that, my pocket goes all the way across. That's really all it does. It gives you a nice wider pocket to work with. So I'm just going to do a wee bit here so I don't overwhelm it. And there. And then I do want to make sure I can still get into it. So there we go. And same thing over here. This is so stinking cute. Okay, let me do the burnishing because I'm pushing that glue up is really what I'm doing. Actually pushed it out. Making sure it all holds. Making sure that we got, there we go. Look how cute that is. It's so stinking cute. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it's all together. I am going to go through. Had to step up for that one. And make sure. And that's not going to hurt that. It's just not. It's not going to damage the integrity of your pocket. And now your pocket is nice and rounded. Let me put my glue back on. All right. My final thing is I want something fun on the front of my little book here. I want it to look Christmassy. Before I put these guys in, and they're going to go like that. So fun. And a lot of people, I will say real quick, a lot of people laminate their little internal pockets. You just don't have to. It's not a law. Just me. Okay, so I want to find something. Let me go look and see if I can find what I want to put on the front. Okay, guys, so I thought I was recording. This just keeps happening today. And so I am making this this into the cover. I'm going to go ahead. I glued this one down. I'm fussy cut around it. I'm going to go ahead and do a cute little triangle here, and then I'll show you how to make sure that this sticks to this. Okay, so I cut my candy cane paper to 3 by 4.5. I am going to go ahead and attach this guy where I think that he's going to be perfect. Me and my sloppy gluing. But I do want to make sure I get him on there. And I'm not going to put them all the way to the bottom. I do want, you know, some decent little room around him. Cute. So let's make it a December to remember. All right, I am putting away my glitter art glue, and I'm getting out my score tape. And this is what makes all the difference. And you can see I haven't put anything in here yet because I want to be able to really get this in there well. Very, very strongly. So I'm going to go ahead and be really careful to get this right at the edge. Now, it's not the big one. I'm going to use one of these because it is super important that I do not rip the paper because that would be catastrophic. Let me turn this a little bit, bring you in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing and I can see what I'm doing. Sometimes we try to do these and it's kind of to keep it in the angle for the camera. It's not always where we need it. Okay. That one. Here's what I'm going to do, and I know it seems kind of funky. I'm going to go ahead and very carefully cut this off because, again, I cannot damage my paper. And slip it there. Not too much. I didn't really even need to do that, so I definitely want to burnish. Oh my golly. Let me do this so I don't make a mess of this thing. All right. Burnished away. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm taking off a part of it because this is the one that I have now. This might not be an issue for you depending on which score tapes you have, how big your pieces are, but I really want to make sure that every teeny tiny bit of this is covered. So to do that, this one was just not quite the exact size. So I'm just going to go over. I'm going to go over the top. Oh, stick it too. Jeez. And this is why the score tape is useful. I'm going to go right about there. Okay. Because this stuff just does not let, once it's got you, it does not let go. That is a bit much right there. So I'm going to just take down a little bit of it. I love my Teflon scissors. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead. Did I do this? Just make sure. And this one. This is just, if you are unfamiliar with score tape, it is super duper strong. All I'm doing is pushing over anything that may be on the edge. And I have to do it carefully because this particular paper is a little bit on the thin side. But if it doesn't come over, I have a way to fix that too. Now, see that I wanted to make sure that I had this flat. I think that's pretty good. Look how cute this turned out. Okay, now burnish. That is not going anywhere. Okay. It's when I start to get tickled. Now, the books that I picked up do not have like a dead center to them. So I'm just going to kind of wing it, which is not a big deal. And put these guys in here. Find your approximate center. Try to get this one. this one. And this one. And finally, this one. Over there. And there you go. It gave me a little bit of a hard time along the way, but it is super cute. And I will say, if you wanted to use some of your score tape and cover the outside of this with something prior to making your holes, you could cover the whole outside with something. But absolutely, I would only use score tape to do it. That's what holds. That's what's going to keep it all together. But I think it's adorable. I'm loving it, and I love that I did not have to do any of the laminating. So you open it up, and you have these great, cute little things. I mean, you could, each one of these can be its own little Christmas book about different plans and what you're buying and foods and, well, there it is. Or the travels that you go on during Christmas, because you're going to make it Christmas, make the December to remember. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that that you were able, that I didn't miss too much in here. I know that I had some filming issues today, so I'll do another one of these in a couple of weeks in case you want to see it again. Let me know if you want me to update it a little bit, and definitely I'll be doing one really soon, incorporating. Let me get this one out here. Incorporating this one. So what's going to be cool about this one, once we put it together, is you're going to have a pocket here, and you're going to have this pocket here. And I think that's going to be kind of awesome to have those options with these. So, all right. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, I really hope that you consider subscribing. We just passed 5,000. Thank you all so much for being there and being part of that. And on our way up. Cheers.